I feel like I've made a lot of mistakes over the last 2 years in my journey in making animated feature film. So in this video, I'm gonna kind of talk about them. Give you my top 10 mistakes. Today is day 576 in my journey in making an animated feature film. This whole project began with an idea. My little sister wrote a tall tale. I was like, oh, I must create this. You know, a year, 2, 3 maybe passed. I created a whole bunch of random short films and I was like, you know what? It's time. The time has come. I shall turn this into a feature film because I want to make a full movie because that's kind of my dream. Anyways, I ended up writing the script. It took me like an entire year, but let's not go into that. It was a long, hard journey and it's done now, right? So the first mistake I think I made was actually when I just started. No, starting was not a mistake. I just jumped right into making 3D models. I told the world I was going to make a full movie inside of a year. I think the best thing to work on is probably the Fleetfoot's farmhouse. I can't blame myself clearly for not knowing what I'm doing because where are you supposed to learn these sort of things, right? But it is kind of painful sometimes to look back and realize, like, oh wow, I could have done this so much better. So that's kind of my first mistake. Just don't jump in and start creating like things without thinking about it. Try to have some sort of plan. But what you're seeing on screen right now is actually the second version of the farmhouse, which is after I made the previs. My plan was to do a previs, and I did a previs, and that took me several months. And by December of that year, I was able to show it to my family. And I remember just being like, that was a lot of work. Wait, I have to do that entire thing again? What the previs let me do was create the farmhouse with some sort of confidence, if that makes any sense. I finally knew what rooms I needed and where things should be, so it helped a lot to have the movie in one sense already made in a very rough format. So this is now the farmhouse. It's done. Yay. How excited. I don't know how to do voiceover. Sorry. Yeah. Wow, this is cringe. That was a lot of fun. And I created, the main character, right? That's its own problem right now, guys. Seriously, I'm not kidding. This video is basically a recap of everything that's happened so far in the journey and also some exciting updates about what's gonna come up in the future. Hint, hint, we have some plans. I don't know why I said we, it's just me. Now, the second mistake is actually kind of part of my announcement. I didn't create any concept animations. That's not a very good plan. I'm realizing more and more. 2 years or 576 days or 77 days today. That was not a good move. So I'm gonna actually be working on creating a concept animation, which is that's what I'm gonna be working on this month. It's August, which is crazy already, and I'm actually excited about that. Despite the fact that this is like super dark and cinematic looking, like, oh, what's going on? So yeah, that was my second mistake. I should have come up with something to just prove to myself that this is actually something that I can make look good. Then again, I'm happy that I now have this chance to now work on it now. So yay! So over the next month, I'm gonna be working on creating a very, very short animation. It like just 1 or 2 shots. Anyways, I spent like about a month procrastinating and actually watching the full thing with my family. When I did, I realized something. I think I should stand up for this. It was definitely not production ready. So the problem with the movie was that there was multiple problems, plot holes, just things that didn't make any sense, just cataclysmic problems. You know how that goes, right? You made a movie, but you realize it's not like what you want it to be, and instead of spending another year working on it, I'm rewriting the script, guys. So yeah. Anyways, the next dozen points I'm gonna make are a lot more philosophical probably, and I feel like these are the bigger mistakes. Yes, I know creating, just jumping in and creating like 3D models, like, okay guys, this is the farmhouse, guys, was not a good move and blah blah blah. But at the same time, I didn't know any better. But the next couple points are like points that just are more general in life, that I've kind of learning the hard way. So the first thing is, even though I knew that I didn't know what I was doing, I didn't realize how much I did not know what I was doing. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, like it was 1,000. I have no idea what I was doing. Because the moment you think you know what you're doing is the moment you've completely failed, I feel like. And there's many moments in this project where I feel like, oh, I'm starting to get it. Right, cool. But no. The style I'm doing this movie in, everything is made out of cubes. And that, therefore, creates a very strange problem.
I need to figure out how to make a cube character that's female and doesn't give kids nightmares, basically.
I had my sister draw yesterday some sketches of maybe what Betty Fleetfoot should look like, because I want to be able to look at it and say that is Betty Fleetfoot.
So this is the part of the video where I'd love to say, hey guys, I know exactly what Betty Fleetfoot is gonna look like, and she's complete. I'm done, but I can't say that, unfortunately. So that's why I'm recording this. Was I supposed to say something else? I created a whole bunch of fun 3D models, and it was good. It was a fun journey. One step at a time. Hopefully we'll eventually come up with a movie by the end of this ridiculous long journey. So there's something to look forward to, right? That's the fourth problem I've had with this project. Was I was trying to constantly rush the process. This comes through in a lot of ways. Inevitably, there's a problem, trying to make a feature film, an hour and 46 minutes of animation, that actually looks good, and that's a lot of work, right? It's ridiculous. It's insane. It's no person should attempt to do that on their own, but here I am. Don't know why I decided to do this, other than the fact that I really like movies, but regardless of the fact that that's a big problem, trying to rush the process and doing that is a cataclysmic problem. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Today, change of plans. We have a project that's going on. We are turning our garage into like a studio. I absolutely do not deserve an entire basically studio to make a movie. It's ridiculous, crazy, awesome. Basically, my parents were like, hey, we have a garage and it's right there. And what if we took out the cars and put walls in the door and put windows there also and put carpet in the floor and called it a studio? And I said, cool, I'll make it in Blender. And so I made it in Blender. Actually, it was my mom's idea to make it in Blender, but I made it, and yeah, there it is. We made it IRL then. So yeah, that's the most short version of the story. I've been learning more and more that you gotta slow it down. The more you slow down and just appreciate, the process, the more you're gonna enjoy it. And life is not about rushing through things. It's a journey, right? Now, this next point is very similar to what I just expressed, but it comes at a different perspective. I'm constantly feeling the pressure to move to the next big glamorous thing, so that's what I'm kind of fighting, and there's a bug attacking me. Great. Because I'm documenting this journey, and because I feel a peer pressure, I guess, of just society at large, being like, hey, you're gonna be 20 in November, and you're supposed to have your life figured out somehow, and not knowing what that actually means, and there's how am I gonna make money, and what am I doing with my life in general. But I do feel the constant pressure, especially documenting this journey on YouTube, to always be moving to the next big thing, and that's not healthy. So I felt that very, very early on in the project. I realized, wow, there's a lot that I need to do, and I don't know when that'll happen. In the middle of that whole garage studio project, we had like a fire, literally, not kidding. It wasn't our fault. It was, actually, no, I have no idea who started the fire. And honestly, I don't want to know, honestly, it's too much. Because it could have burnt down our entire house. I'm not joking. As I'm outside, I have literally, I should get up and show you. Okay, let's do that. That's too close. That's scary. The flames were I don't exaggerate. At the minimum, they were 10 feet high. I heard this sound outside our sliding glass door. It was really windy outside. It's 40 miles an hour wind. So I was like, I probably should just get up and check what just hit the window. So I get up and looked out the window, and then I saw all this smoke, from, I don't know, probably half a mile away. And I was just like, whoa. I looked at it for 10 seconds, and I was like, hey, what's going on? I came and told my dad, who was working in here. He decided, I probably should check that out, So he drove his car down there, and he realized pretty fast it was moving very fast, and I was going towards our house, which is no bueno. That playset right there, that's the edge of our property. That's 50 feet right there from our house. Anyways, our house did not burn to the ground. It was really a miracle that everything we have is still here. Another side note of that previous point was, often I feel like behind the scenes footage is all glamorous, and doing it alone is definitely not, it doesn't help with the fact that it can feel lonely, I guess, at certain points. It's just like, man, this is, you know, one step at a time times a million, you know, and like how many steps can I actually keep taking, you know? But regardless of that, they show you the highlights, you know, the fun parts. They don't often show you the really slow, painful parts where you just don't know what you're doing. I know everyone has this, you know, even the professionals, they don't know what they're doing. No one knows what they're doing, really. Today, I'm just gonna give you guys a quick update. The garage studio is done. I can sit down and like talk to the camera. I probably should get a table here or something to put it on. Here's the tour. So we have the freezer room. Now, don't ask questions. We have Caden. We have the table. We have the couch. We have the coffee table that I created out of wood. Then we have my computer. Now, there's a lot of random things going on right there, so don't like look at the fact that I already have this video half edited. We have this random nook and cranny. It's a cool thing. Yeah, it's a thing. It was literally $24 from IKEA, but who cares? We have the computer, and we have the rest of the room, piano, other things. That's basically it. Now I finally can say I did a tour. That's great. Why is there something in my throat? Mistake number 6 is thinking that this journey would somehow be easy. Though the style of this project is simple, technically speaking, you know, it's just the volume of everything and knowing what to work on and when to work on it and how long to work on it and how much detail to put on it and all these small things. It adds up cognitively, and it's hard to know what's the most important step. Mistake number 7 is that I often get way too caught up in the small little details. Details that just don't matter, frankly put. Details that are just like stupid. Like, why am I working on the bathroom of this house right now when there's not a scene in the bathroom? I don't want any scenes in the bathroom, and like, why am I doing this right now? It's really a stupid problem to have, but it's very human at the same time. So I can't hit myself in the head too hard for that. Is that a saying? Hit myself in the head. But sometimes you have to let go of the small details. This leads me to mistake number 8. Then there's the flip side of it. Not caring about the small details enough. Sometimes it's actually important to care about the stupid things, the small detail that no one's gonna see, because it's important to enjoy the journey. When you're just stressed out about a stupid small detail, then don't do it. But when you're actually enjoying that process, and every now and then do it, like it's okay to, you know, work on something that no one's ever gonna see, and it's just for the sake of having some creative liberty and fun at it. It's a balance. This is basically what it quite literally is. Balance is hard to do. Another mistake I've had a problem with is looking for approval constantly. Apparently I thrive on approval, and that's not necessarily a good thing to be good at, you know. Hey, my name is Josh, and I'm really good at needing people's approval. So, and often this comes in the form of, I guess, asking for feedback. Maybe secretly I'm desiring them to just say it's phenomenal. Of course, at the same time, I do want the work I do to be the best I possibly can, which means I need feedback, which means I need people to hit me in the face sometimes and be like, dude, this is very bad, change it. But approval is not like what I should be living for. It doesn't really matter what other people think, and I have to realize that and remember that sometimes, which is hard. So that's a big mistake I've made often, is just doing things for people's approval. I need to remember, frankly, but that this is my movie, and what other people say, what other people think, what the guy down the street thinks. It doesn't matter what he thinks about the project either. It's I have to let go and be like, hey, it's okay. Not everyone's gonna like this project, and that's okay. And that actually is freeing. You know, when you actually take hold of that and grasp that fact that it doesn't matter what other people think. Who cares? Do whatever you want, right? So that's a good thing to realize. And then the last point is something that actually is ultra important. Frankly, but I hold on to this project too tightly. You know, sometimes I'm really good at writing things in the moment, and then when I go to say it, it like comes out really weird. But that's okay. I know I've said I've made a lot of important mistakes, which is like, can you make an important mistake? But mistakes are not just about the fact that you've made them. It's about the fact that you're gonna then work on correcting them, I think, which is actually great, because failure then means that you've not failed. That's just another step closer to success. So as a Christian, I need to let go. Like, I really do. I'm not the one who's in control of this project. If the Lord wants this project to go one way or another way, then that's up to him. The God who made me has a better plan for this project than I could ever have. So that's just incredibly freeing. Really, it is. I can't get bogged down with the small details and little problems I have as an infinitesimal human, when I know he has a bigger plan. And whether his plan is that I make an Oscar-winning movie, or make an absolutely atrocious movie, or fail at just finishing, or whatever it is, I know he has a good plan, and that's incredibly awesome and freeing. So that is why I truly can enjoy the journey. And yes, and over the next month, I'm going to be working as hard as I can, and with all the mistakes I've mentioned so far, hopefully not making them, and hopefully getting better at this whole thing, I will work on enjoying the journey and creating a concept animation as I work on rewriting the script. So yeah, my goal is over the next month to work on this really bad storyboard I made today, basically turning it into an actual thing inside of Blender. The biggest issue for me is going to be, guess what? The main character. It's three shots. Shot of Betty, main character, looking at this argument with her father and this business sales random guy who's a secret villain who he's washing his car, and she looks up, and then there's a sign for like Andres. I think I focused. Anyways, it's really fun. I could see it in my head, but the problem is I actually have to make it now, and that's kind of concerning and scary. But it is a very important thing to actually start making the movie. So yeah, after a lot of procrastination, I have decided that I shall work on it as I continue to rewrite the script. Now, yeah, so hopefully by the end of August, I can show you guys the animation. One problem though. Yeah, I decided to rewrite the script. So that's where I am right now, actually. It started as a gradual thing, but it's become more and more a complete overhaul of the entire structure of the story, which is like kind of a big deal. But basically, I was trying to figure out what is the message I want to give to the people as they watch the movie. It is, identity will change when you have faith. And it's true. It's like something that I do want like to tell people, you know, like your identity will change when you have faith. And I'm really excited about it. Same characters, but I'm finally learning who these characters are, and I feel like this is the best thing that's ever happened. But it's also very terrifying, and it's like, I feel very vulnerable about it. Kind of like how I can't talk English. So hopefully this video was mildly cohesive. Special thanks to Blender Lab, who helped me edit this. Got all the footage from the past times, the ancient times, and that's the only reason I'm honestly making this video. I wouldn't have been inspired to do this probably without him, so thank you. So that's all I got for you guys. If you guys want to support me on this journey, check out my website, www.studiosmistaken.com. It's a new thing, and you can get access to behind the scenes project files and other things. I can't overpromise. Okay, I've been having my own struggles as a human, you know, and just finishing this project, or not finishing, just continuing this project is hard sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's a journey. Enjoy it, and bye-bye times 4. See ya.
I pray this path takes me home, Lord, take the reins, I'm letting